Alright, so in this video we're going to be writing a Python script that's going to extract some information from the website Craigslist. So we'll be forming a specific type of query, which is going to be some sort of thing that we're going to search here, maybe based on things like miles from a particular zip code, a location, a min and max price, and other criteria that's going to form the query. And then we're going to search automatically using Python and some other web scraping and automation modules in Python like Selenium, URLlib, Beautiful Soup. And if you don't know what those are, we'll be covering them a bit topically in this video, although I do have some other videos that cover those modules in more depth. So we'll be automatically searching for a given item, given query in Craigslist, and then we'll be extracting two things: the title of the item on the page and also the corresponding link of that title as well. So this is just kind of a springboard project which you can take and make your own. So for instance, maybe you want to write a type of scraper script that's going to allow you to check on Craigslist, let's say every day, that's going to look for a particular type of item. Maybe you're in the market for a car or a particular rare item that you want to keep your eye out for on Craigslist. So you can modify this Craigslist script that we're going to be writing today, and hopefully you can tweak it to your own needs and it serves you for some particular purpose that you have in mind. So with that said, let me just go ahead and run the script so you get a sense of what will be accomplished by the end of this video, so you can decide if you want to follow along and see what goes into making the script. And what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a very kind of exploratory approach in writing this script. Namely, we'll be actually figuring out how the website is designed and how that will help us to design the scraper script to extract the information that we want to in this video. So let me just go ahead and run the script and you can see what it does. So we're over in our terminal, and I'm going to go ahead and run the script so you can see what the end result of this video will give you. So what we'll see here is we'll see a Firefox browser pop up, and then we'll see the background here, the terminal, be populated with a bunch of content, and then the script has finished executing. So I'm going to move this browser. I'm going to minimize that for now. I'm going to move up. So as I mentioned, there's two things that are going to be extracted from the query that we're going to form, namely the title of the particular item that we're looking for, and that's kind of this content right here. And then this next chunk of content are the relative links for each of those items. So if I go up here and I look at the first item that is extracted from the page, it's this used queen mattress that's $25. If I go ahead and open that up, we see that this is indeed the first item that's shown on this page here. And if we move that aside and look at the second one, white metal chairs, that's indeed the next one over there. So it just goes sequentially on the page for the given query, extracts all of the titles, and then this second chunk is the link. So for instance, we saw the first one was a link for the mattress, which is the name of the link here, so that's the link for the mattress there, and then the next one is for the white metal chairs, and so on and so forth. So that's the content that we're going to extract, and we're going to form a very particular query for types of items, and again, types of other things that we want to be aware of. So things like radius or zip code or other things like that, which are going to be dependent on where we want to search for a given item. Maybe you're not in the San Francisco Bay Area, so you don't want to be looking there, so you might want to tweak that to your own city. So we're going to be looking at how to form those types of queries, and we're going to be writing that in our script. So one thing I do want to point out before we proceed here and write the script is that the web scraping script is obviously going to be heavily dependent on the way in which the website that we're scraping from is designed. Namely, the architecture of the website is really going to be kind of a feature that we're going to use to figure out how to extract certain key pieces of information. So if the design of the website changes on the side of Craigslist, then that's going to affect the way in which our script is going to extract information. It may break if the website changes, or it may just give you data that is not necessarily what you're after. So I'm choosing Craigslist because the website itself has been fairly consistent since it's been launched. It's maintained this very simplistic website that's really kind of undergone very minimal changes within the past couple years. So optimistically, the changes on their side will continue to be quite minimal to maintain that very simple interface that they have right now. So hopefully that will be the case for a while, and this script will continue to work for the website as it stands now. If you run this in the future and they've made some substantial changes to their website, then the reason for that might be, again, purely on their side, and that would have to be diagnosed based on whatever changes they made. So that's just something I want to point out before we move any further, and hopefully optimistically, what would happen is I will try to keep the script up to date, or if others want to fork this project, this will be also hosted on GitHub. So feel free to fork and update with any changes that the website makes that kind of force us to make changes on our side as well. Again, optimistically that won't happen since Craigslist changes so infrequently, but I just wanted to kind of point that out before we proceed here. Okay, so now we're back to some code, and what I've done here is I've imported pretty much everything that we're going to be using from a web scraping side for this video. So there's a couple lines here for Selenium or Selenium. If you're not familiar with this particular module in Python, I have a series of videos on this, and I encourage you to watch them. I'm going to give you kind of the minimum effective dose for being proficient in Selenium, basically the minimal amount that you need to get started for the purposes of this video, but I encourage you to watch those videos in this series because that will give you a bit more context and you can see what else Selenium can do. The other thing that we're going to use is the Beautiful Soup module. Again, this is more for kind of parsing the HTML that you extract once you scrape it, once you actually navigate to the website, so that's what that's going to be used for. And this URL lib request is going to be a library that's going to access websites. So if you specify a URL as a string, we're going to be able to grab that URL and navigate to it. So if you want to run this, you also need to have these modules installed. So I'm going to navigate over to this other terminal over here that we had open, clear that up, and I'm going to say pip install Selenium. So all of these things are already installed on my machine, so we're not going to see any effect after I run these commands. But if you don't have them installed, so we'll see here requirement already satisfied. If you don't have them installed, then you'll most likely see the module be installed on your machine and you should be able to use it. So we have 1 out of 3 down, which is Selenium. We also need Beautiful Soup. The way you install that is also through pip. So pip install bs4. That's the way that you install Beautiful Soup. Again, I already have this installed on my machine, so nothing's going to change there. And I believe, I'm not sure if this comes with Python or not, but pip install URL lib. So I believe this is something that actually comes built in with Python. So if that's not the case, then I will modify this video accordingly, but I believe that you should have URL lib already installed if you have Python installed. So that's pretty much all we need. I'm going to go ahead and clear this and then move back to the code. So one way you can check to make sure that all of this is actually installed is you can try running this script, and if it doesn't run, if you get an error, then you know that something happened here that's going to prevent you from running. So that means that you don't have one of these 3 things installed. So I'm going to go ahead and write this. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it. I'm going to say Python Craigslist scraper.py. And what we're going to see here is we're not going to see any output, which is good. We're not going to see any errors. So that means that everything seems to work as expected. So we're going to move on here to actually write the logic of the scraping script that we saw in the beginning part of this video. So back to the website here, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of play around with this website to see how it behaves when we search for certain things that we're looking for, and then we're going to try to generalize those ways in which the website performs to our searches to build a URL that's going to allow us to make a very specific query. So right now we're at the most general search page. So if we just search for, let's say, something that's within a given radius. So for instance, we can type in here miles from zip. Let's say we want to search within 5 miles of the zip code 94201. And now if we update our search, notice how the URL changes. So this part of the URL is exactly the same as we had before. However, this part of it here is now added. So this argument in the URL, search_distance equals, and then 5, the number that we put in here for the miles, and then the postal code, which was also this box over here, is added kind of on this URL with an ampersand, and that's set equal to the string 94201. So this extra information being encoded in this URL is giving us search results that are specific to this postal code within 5 miles of that postal code. So let's keep playing around with this to see how else this URL can get modified. Let's say that we want to extract items that are from a minimum and max price range. Let's say we're interested in any of the items from $0 to, let's say, $500. So if we go ahead and update our search based on this result, we notice that there's a few more parameters that are now added to this URL. So again, the previous part of the URL here, that's the same, and then the part that changed is this content over here. So it looks like when you add on another argument here, you add each of the arguments with this ampersand, and we see that the min price argument is set to 0, which is exactly what we had here, and then another argument, so there's an ampersand that separates that, and this max price is equal to 500. So we can also look at trying to change the categories. So for instance, maybe we don't care about all of these categories, but we can just care about, let's say, furniture categories. So the only type of category I'm interested in for this particular query is furniture. And if we update the search there, we notice that this part of the search bar changes. So for instance, there's these little codes that correspond to each of the categories that are 3 letters that will be updated based on the types of categories that you're looking for. So I'm going to keep this pretty general. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and just make it search for all of the items just to make it a little bit simpler. But if you wanted to extend on this script, say, and if you wanted to search for items of a given category only, that is how you could modify this in order to figure out what type of category and what 3-letter code you would need here in order to search for the item that you care about. So let's just take what we have so far. Let's just say that we want to modify kind of a general URL and then specify these arguments within our code. So let's go ahead and go back to our code here. And what I'm going to do to kind of make things a little bit modular is I'm going to define a class. I'm going to call this class Craigslist Scraper. And this is just going to make things a little bit more again, modular. So hopefully this will make it a little bit easier to use and easier to build upon. So we're going to define our constructor. And this constructor is going to take, let's say it's going to take a few things like location, the postal code, the max price, and then let's say also the radius. So these are the strings, again, that we saw. If we go back to the URL here, we saw that these arguments here had an equal sign and then some number that was the number of interest, whether it's a postal code or a max distance or a min price or anything like that. And we're going to specify those in the constructor of this scraper object. So I'm just going to go ahead and set the class variables for those things that we're going to feed in to define a Craigslist scraper object to whatever we pass in. So I'm going to say self.location equal to location. I'm going to say self.postal is equal to postal. Self.maxprice is equal to max price. And then finally self.radius is equal to radius. So I'm also going to say self.url. So this is where we're going to go ahead and build our URL. So if we make this a functional string or a string that we can specify the arguments within, so we can say https:// and notice that the location, if we go back to this URL here, the location here is specific to wherever we're searching from. So the results here are specific to the San Francisco Bay. For you, this location, this part of the URL is going to be different for whatever location you happen to be located in. So we're going to specify that. Whatever you happen to specify that as, you're just going to set that as the location argument in this class. So what we can do to make that general is we can just say location here, and that will feed in whatever we define for this class object, and that will put that into this custom URL that we're building. So then how else is that URL built? So we've got the location, and then this part is pretty general, .craigslist.org/search/SSS, and then we're going to kind of keep it the same all the way up until that point. So let's go ahead and go back to our URL. So we'll say location.craigslist.org/search/ and then here's where we can start to put in the custom arguments. So let's go back to this URL here, and let's say that we want to specify the postal code, the min price, the radius, and the max price. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, we'll change this to max price. Maybe I don't care about min price, just to make this a little bit easier because the concept is going to be the same, and that way the URL is a little bit shorter. So if I go ahead and modify that URL to get rid of the min price, again, notice the min price here, this dialog box is now empty, but the max price is still set at 500. So I'm just going to get rid of that min price because I want to kind of minimize the number of arguments that I'm passing through to this thing to make it a little bit easier to, a little bit more simpler to code up. So, okay, so what we have here is we have the arguments. Sorry to keep popping back and forth here, but let's just copy this content here. We're going to kind of modify that to be very general. So I'm going to put that right here. Oops, that's not right. I'm going to put that right here. There we go. So let's go ahead and continue to build this URL. So we have search distance, and then we're going to say search distance is equal to what we have as the radius. So let's go ahead and set that equal to the radius. And then we're going to have an ampersand postal, and this is going to be equal to the postal stuff that we send in. So we'll say postal, and then it looks like we have another ampersand max price, and then we'll set that equal to the max price that we set as in this class that we have. So we'll say max price. So we have our URL built right here. So I think there is, let's see, let me get rid of that there. That's what it is. So we have our URL built. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to have a function which is just called test. It's a member of this class, and we're just going to go ahead and print out self.url just to see how the URL looks. So let's go ahead and specify some location. So outside of the class, we're going to define a variable called location. We'll say this is SF Bay, so this is San Francisco Bay Area. We'll say we want a postal code, postal equal to 94201, just like we did in the example. Let's say a max price, let's set that equal to 500. And then let's set our radius, we'll set our radius equal to, let's say 5, again, just like we did in the example. So now let's go ahead and instantiate a Craigslist scraper object. So we'll say scraper is equal to Craigslist scraper. And then we'll call our test function, which in this case is just going to be responsible for printing out the URL that we constructed as the class variable based on these parameters here, which we of course need to pass into this so it knows what to do with them. So let's go ahead and create our class object based on location, postal, max price, and also radius. So we've done that. So now let's go ahead and say scraper.test. And we'll see what the URL looks like. So we'll go ahead and clear the terminal. We'll say Python Craigslist scraper. And what we have here is we have our custom URL. So if we go ahead and copy this, we should be able to actually put this into a browser. So let's go over here to our browser. Let's put this in and make sure that it actually navigates to a page that makes sense. So it seems to have navigated to the proper page, and it looks like it didn't maintain those variables. So let's figure out why that is. So I think the reason that it's not redirecting to the proper page is because we forgot to add part of that URL, and that would be this SSS question mark and then slash. That should do the trick. So let's go ahead, or maybe no slash. Let's go ahead and write that and give it a run. And let's copy this URL. Let's move our browser over here. Let's go back to the terminal, copy the URL here, and then go back to our browser and paste it in. And there we go. So it actually redirects to the proper page where the distance is set, the max price, the postal code, all that stuff that we set in the custom URL that we just built is set as we expected. So that's good. So we've got our URL. So now what we want to do is we want to actually tell Python to navigate to this URL that we've built and then extract both the title of all the posts for this given query and also the relative links of each of those. So that's what we're going to do in this next part of the video here. So that pretty much does it for this part of the video. In the next part, we're going to continue to build this final product that you saw in the beginning part of the video, and then we'll continue from there. So thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please do give it a like. And if you find this content useful, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments or anything feedback, please don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.